here?
There are laws and there are laws. There's a law of common sense. This time, things are bad. When it happened the other time, you were around when I was in charge of operations for 8 years. We avoided market rate. You remember? Because we lost a lot of officers. We avoided, and we made this law 204 as amended. Here in this law, which you are reading, which I've just assisted you to circulate now, they said they place a building, warehouses, and so on. But we knowingly avoided marketplaces because we had entered into problem before. And we don't have enough officers to sacrifice to these people. Now, the question is, how do you differentiate between Nigerian-made rice and parboiled-made rice? Inside the same bag, how do you determine? And you should know that these people, they are more clever than you. They will go and buy rice from Katsina and Kebbi, and go and buy a bag of these empty bags from Akinola or where, and say made in China. Am I lying, Madam Rice? Am I lying? Made in Thailand for them to sell to we. Since you don't have the technology to determine this is from parboil, this is from Kebbi, automatically you will have seed up. You still remember warehouse code? Warehouse code is still working here. You will have seed it up. Step one. You will have sent for their lawyers and all of them to report to you at their headquarters. They will come. Then you will have gone there with them to open the warehouse or the market. The market is forbidden because of bloodshed. I personally, I have told you, I even told your colonel here, this is 2021 century customs. There's never been a custom all over the world carrying gun up and down again. This is modern custom. We want to modernize you. That is why we are voting a lot of billions of naira into custom to modernize you. Then two, since I was your boss, did you ever see me raiding Kano Airport, Kano Market? Have you ever seen me like that? Even if you say you are going, I will tell you not to go. Because that is the life of the people. As soon as this thing escapes to them, there is another day. They are coming through the border again. Instead of having all this argument here and there, I will tell you to your colonel that he should please, he should not waste our officers. The soldiers that you people are using, we have already asked from the GOC, he said he did not know anything about it. You should be able to use your common sense to make our law effective. If you secure our borders seriously, rice will not come in. If you don't have enough officers, we have granted the officers to be recruited. Even if you say you need 10,000, we will give you. But stop raiding markets and come out. You have all the powers, 40 kilometers to the border. Is it not still working? Executive order number 1. That was the one did by Baba Obasanjo, then repeated by Osibajo. 40 kilometers to the border. You do it. Basil, my own boy, who is supposed to be the star of the service, he entered trouble through this overzealousness. And he was court-martialed and his life was cut short in the service. Please, you should avoid all this. If there's any other thing, if I hear that you have raided another market, I am no more a custom officer. I'm a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Most of the shops you have raided now, They are all wretched people going on, what do you call it, Bomuli Lanta? Yes, you know the meaning of Bomuli Lanta, ACG? No. Ask the lawyer to tell you, the lawyer should know. How can you put your breast on lantern, hot lantern? That is the loan they are taking. And it is trade. It has passed through 3 or 4 people before they can get there. And what they are holding there, I think maybe you will still tell your the legal department. My own advice, the lawyer, you have to meet their lawyer and sort it out. Because we shouldn't hear all these things here. That's my own advice. So stop reading market. Things are bad. Nigeria is bleeding. The man who talked to you was weeping the other time. I have been crying since. We are your representative. I'm representing you. All of us are representing you people. See their senator. Their senator is very lean. They don't allow him to sleep. No. So please stop it and sort it out at your level.
That was Senator Fadaunse Francis Adenigba, a retired custom officer and Nigerian senator representing Osun East constituency at the National Assembly's Senate, the Red Chamber. Michael, when you heard Senator Fadaunse on this matter, I'd like us to quickly look at this before we drop it into the next issue. When you heard him speak that way, the first thing I thought about was, it was what they call the round peg in a round hole.
Oh, yeah.
He understood the workings of the customs.
He was there for over 18 years, so he distinguished himself.
So what came to your mind?
What came to my mind was that it was, first of all, it was shameful that we needed someone from outside, someone from the Senate to remind those customs people that they have laws, that they have indeed flouted. Because he was talking about the warehouse law. He was talking about all the other things. He talked about the 40 meters radius. He talked about the fact that they should be ashamed. He didn't use the word ashamed, but he thought that they should be ashamed that these goods escaped, came in through the borders and got to the markets. He also taught them a lesson, and I was shocked that they needed to be taught that the first thing you do is to seal the place up and then ask those guys to report, and then the two of you and them and their legal representatives, they should then march back to the warehouses, take these products out, and then it made a very fundamental thing. They needed technology. They needed to lab test this rice to even be sure that it's foreign. Because the funny way people do things is you could put Nigerian rice in a bag and write made in Thailand on it. The underhand things that business people do. So basically, I was ashamed.
That beats me. That even on this table, we said that the process should have been to go seal that place off in the afternoon, in the morning, and then you follow the process.
Yeah.
Why is it difficult for us to follow processes?
Yeah, because we're where we are coming from. We are over 60 years of independence as a nation. We've spent almost 25 of it or 30 of it, in military regimes. And it also should beat you that we enjoy being whipped into line. So the fact is that we needed to play up the military blood to make sure that we enforce the law. So what you're basically doing is you are breaking the law to enforce the law.
Today, let me come to you quickly before we go to the next issue. This video, we listened to it together. What are your impressions?
Well, we've said a lot about this when it first happened last week. So perhaps we should not, repeat what has been said. But like Michael mentioned, I'm very impressed about how Senator Francis Fadaunse, lectured the custom officers at the hearing there, which speaks to why you need professionals in politics, because in the National Assembly, when they set up standing committees, they look at your background, and it informs the leadership of the House, in deciding who is where. The fact that he's a retired custom officer, has given him a lot of insights into how that system operates and how they should run. The senator said something about common sense. And that is where I really want to. Yes, I want to pick up, because you see, in Nigeria, government agencies, they talk so much about their powers, but the powers conferred on us, the Constitution, empowers us to be able to do this, to be able to do that. But then again, there's a point where common sense should prevail. These people, you, as far as I am concerned, what the Nigerian customs did was an act of stealing. You went there in the middle of the night. You carted away, so many things, including money, because they also confirmed that they were able to. They took away some. I don't know if those also called contraband as well, and now they are begging that they should have those things back. There is no proof. Whether how do you tell apart which one is foreign, which one is local? I hope sincerely that good logic will prevail, that they will return those things and allow due process to take place. But more importantly, that they should, stop it from happening again, because there's a limit to how far you can push the people. Nigerians are being beaten from different sides, left, right, and center. Senator
Father also said, don't waste our officers.
Yes, because when you aggravate them
of danger,
you know what can happen. You don't want to give room to jungle justice, because when the people feel they cannot get justice, now the National Assembly has been appealing to the customs that return these things. They are not listening. I would advise that they should go to court and sue. But we know the way our system works in Nigeria. These people may still not listen to the court. So what then happens tomorrow if you go there? They know they are not going to get justice through the legal system, so they will fight back in their own way. And we don't want, we don't want such to push ourselves to that point.
All right, thank you, Tunde. I'm taking a break right now, but it's been in the news. Brigadier Joshua Nimiel Dongoyaro is dead. And I shared something with Michael earlier today. I want us to talk about it quickly. We'll go for the break. But, the cool speech that Dongoyaro read, that August
27, 1985.
Now, when Major General Buhari was ousted, the accusation against that regime seems to be something that we still live with even today. You want to understand that? Don't go away. Stay with us. Splash Rendezvous will be back in a moment.
Splash FM 105.5.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o, Panadol Extra náà ni Panadol Extra. Ó tún ti ń bẹ báyìí nínú ìdí kékeré oníkápẹ́lẹ̀tì mẹ́rin $50 péré. Panadol Extra kẹ́nẹ́ ni Panadol Extra mú tura bẹ́ fọ́rí, ìrora ẹ̀yìn, ìrora oríkèé, ìrora nǹkan oṣù àti ìrora ẹ̀yìn. Tí ìbá ṣe Panadol, kò lè jẹ́ bí Panadol. Tá ìpadà ò bá sí lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ méjì, lọ rí dókítà. Panadol Extra ní paracetamol àti caffeine nínú, kò sí fáláboyún àtàwọn ọmọdé tọ́jú orí wọn kéré sọ́dún 12.
At Splash FM, we believe that the business of broadcasting in today's society should not only be about information dissemination, but ultimately about the quality of those who do the job. Our next agenda is to restore and consolidate the integrity of broadcasting, to train, to equip, and to mentor the next generation in the art and science of broadcasting, leveraging over a decade of excellence in the industry. Anticipate.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use Comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate. Ibadan. 9 Mobile 4G LTE has landed and we are in for the time of our lives. Streaming matches will never be the same. Video calls will be clearer than ever. Work will be so smooth, it won't feel like work. That's smooth.
Yes, Ibadan. Enjoy browsing with quality 4G LTE on 9 mobile data plans. Get 2 GB plus free access to social media for 500 naira. 7 GB plus free access to social media for 1,500 naira. And 3.5 GB free data for night streaming on select monthly data plans of 1,000 naira and above. Dial *200*3*1# to get started. T's and C's apply. 9 Mobile.
Honey, Food Court Festival of Savings don't come again, with plenty markets when they put hope for pocket.
Nkechi, you don't start again. You and your spending tori. Don't forget say school just resume. School fees they take one eye look us.
Oh, Baba Bon Boy, Food Court Festival of Savings now once in a blue moon, This one now ogbonge discount to carry for body 20% off on winning basket.
Nkechi, Ogbeleo.
You never see something. Plenty markets day with chicken money. Milo energy drink 500 gram for 950 naira. Golden Mon for 50 gram for 660 naira. Malta Guinness pack of 6 now 775 naira. 15% discount day for home appliances like air clipper, pressing iron, air fryer, fans, blender, and plenty items. This promo now from 10th of May. Go reach 16th of May. Offers valid while stock lasts. Terms and conditions dey o.
Àkókò ìjà tó pa bámbárì jù tá a ti ń retí ń lọ kọ́sùkọ̀ báyìí o. Kì í sí ibú yẹ̀rì láàrin jù bá náà lọ. Ó mà ṣe o. Ẹ wò bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń kú bí ojú pì. Ẹ̀ṣẹ́ àgbáwọlẹ̀ lọ́tún lọ́sí. Ó dilẹ̀ gbága yìí. Ó ṣubú yàkàtà. Ó fìdí rẹmi. Ìjà parí o. Kò sógun mọ́ kò sọ́tẹ̀ mọ́. Àlùbámi ni Bọ́sìkà tún borí lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
Gba ìtura kíá kúrò lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀fọ́rí, ìrora àti òtútù pẹ̀lú Bọ́sìkà. Bọ́sìkà ń gba ẹ̀fọ́rí, ìrora àti òtútù lágbàwọlẹ̀ ní kíákíá. Bí àyípadà kò bá sí lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta, lọ rí dókítà.
Oh boy, check this new La Casera packaging now. Paulo say the freshness don't fresh. Me say na lie. The refreshment don't fresh. Now the matter with the set to so.
Bring and make us.
Wait, why now?
Hey, same ultra apple taste. Fresh new label. The refreshment don't fresh. Enjoy the fresh vibes of La Casera with new colorful, exciting look. Also the bamba apple taste no change. La Casera, I love this drink.
You don't wait for the dying minute of the football season where they come with extra drama.
Eagerly awaited Manchester derby.
Better heartbreak.
He didn't get the goal then.
And the victory where you go tell your picking and your picking them. But anyhow it take happen, we dey gidigba with our team. Now for life.
There it is.
Now football will make sense be this. And you no fit miss am. Stay connected on top your Go TV this whole month of May. As football season don enter final lap. Go TV. Love it.
The sweetest period of anyone's life is their childhood. Come spend this year's Children's Day at the Splash FM Lagelu FM Children's Day Fun Fair 2021. Let your kids spend this day with unlimited fun. Activities include dancing competition, free refreshment, fun fair, face painting, singing competition, bouncing castle, and other side attractions. Date 27th May 2021 by 11 a.m. at MOF 21 Event Center. Gate fee 1,000 naira only. Please note, COVID-19 measures would be duly observed.
For inquiries and sponsorship, call 0805-699-8701.
Give your child the bounteous shower of love and care with unlimited fun at the Splash FM Lagelu FM Children's Day Fun Fair 2021.
Anytime malaria show, Nakam Shalatem.
Má ṣe gba ibà láyè lára rẹ o. Tètè kojú rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Shalatem. Shalatem jẹ́ ojúlówó oògùn ibà tí a fi artemether àti lumefantrine ṣe láti ọwọ́ Shalina Healthcare ní ilẹ̀ tiwantiwa Nàìjíríà. Shalatem wà fún ọmọdé, ó sì wà fún àgbàlagbà. Pàápàá jùlọ, ó wà fún gbogbo ọjọ́ orí. Wàyé o, rántí láti lo Shalatem pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ. Tí àlàáfíà ò bá wá dé bá ara rẹ lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta, tètè kó ya lọ rí dókítà.
Splash FM 105.5.
Welcome back. It's still Splash Rendezvous on Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station. Just for 3-4 minutes, I'd like us to quickly listen to this. I was reading through this speech coup, and it says the concept of collective leadership has been substituted by stubborn and ill-advised unilateral actions, thereby destroying the principles upon which the government came to power. Any effort made to advise the leadership met with stubborn resistance and was viewed as a challenge to authority or disloyalty. Thus, the scene was set for systematic elimination of what was termed oppositions. All the energies of the rulership were directed at this imaginary opposition rather than to effective leadership. Michael, you read it?
Yes, I did. Basically, I was saying off the microphone that if you changed the date to 13th of May 2021, it will still sound like a speech written today. And essentially, you don't run a government, you don't run a nation like that. You run a nation by being open to criticism, because it's criticism that really shows you what you are not looking at. So when people say you are not listening to other people, and you are, they're basically casting them in the garbs of opposition or enemies of state, then you are losing something, because they are saying something that you are not seeing.
Now, today, the government has started to drift. It says the economy does not seem to be getting any better as we witness daily increased inflation. Do you agree with Michael?
Well, I agree with him 100%. I believe that the government of the day has not properly managed our diversity, and it's obvious, why you're seeing a lot of agitations from, the northeast to the northwest, the southeast, and southwest. Also, our economy is not in any good shape. Insecurity seems to be the order of the day. Everybody's so scared to even move from, your base to the nearest location. But you see, for me, I really don't have anything, good to say about
coup-plotters.
Yes, all of them. They know themselves, all of them. The one of yesterday, today, and maybe the future ones we are planning to, because I believe that they've all collectively done more in terms of destroying the fabrics of our society. So, well, it is what it is, but I really don't have anything positive to say about anybody, any military officer who has ever been involved in coup plotting.
All right, so let's move on. We have Professor Lateef Babatunde Ayeleru here. He's the CEO, Nigeria French Language Village, Badagry, in Lagos. As a professor of French, as a former head of department of European languages, University of Ibadan. Professor Ayeleru, welcome to Splash FM.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
All right, so
I'm
you
happy to be here.
You have Tunde Olawuwo here, just sitting right beside you there, and your far right is Michael Olatunbosun. I'm Oluwaseun.
Welcome, sir. Yes.
So the three of us will engage you on the issues about security, but I know that you're not a security expert. I'll simply just say you are a teacher. Yeah, an instructor.
And a linguist.
A linguist. All right, great. So, and so we will approach it from that perspective. I kept wondering how we can use language to fight insecurity. You told me just a few minutes ago that it's a possibility. And so we need to do everything we can to fight insecurity, whatever weapon we've got at this time. And insurgency is this kind of asymmetric war that requires high level of intelligence gathering and execution. So from your perspective, how can language help us in this way, particularly the French language?
Thank you. Let me start by clearing a kind of discursive space. I am the Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian French Language Village. The mandate is an inter-university center. We relate with many universities, and the center operates under the ambit of the National Universities Commission. So we primarily provide a language immersion program for all undergraduate students offering French in Nigerian universities, federal, state, and private universities. We also organize language acculturation for those from colleges of education who are students of French. But we also have what we call extended mandate, where we teach French as a proficiency to other interested Nigerians, especially government agencies. We train customs, we teach immigration officers, we teach those in the armed forces. I remember even despite the COVID-19 pandemic of last year, we're still able to train some naval officers who came to learn French, and they stayed for about 90 days on our campus. We also trained officers from the Foreign Service. We trained those from DSS. You can see that these people, they know the import of French as it will affect intelligence gathering. But specifically to talk of the insurgency, the narrative is that these people are foreigners and they are coming from different countries into our own country. And when you look at Nigeria, Nigeria is surrounded by Francophone countries. I'm not even sure whether the Atlantic Ocean doesn't speak French too. Because if you look at the north, you look at the east, you look at the west, our neighbors are Francophone. So logically, one would think that even our neighbor down south, which is the Atlantic Ocean, must also be a Francophone in a way. So if our neighbors are Francophone, then it is important for us to be able to relate with them that we should be minimally proficient in French, especially those who are in the business of fighting insurgency. Those who are in the business of taking care of cross-border crime and banditry. And recently, I visited the Chief of Defense Staff, Leo Irabo, and we looked at the possibility of synergizing with the armed forces in the fight against insurgency, knowing that these people coming from other countries, their countries are Francophone, and what we can do. And we are talking, we are making progress. So, and I'm very confident that already, I must say that the armed forces already, French is very important to them. They are learning French. As I'm talking to you, I was surprised the day we got to his office, his principal chief of staff, a brigadier general, said he was once in a different village in Badagry for 3 months where he learned French. And he was still speaking French. And I'm surprised that even the CDS also speaks French. So that is to tell you that even the armed forces, they know the importance of French, and they know that the men and officers should also be proficient in French. What we are going to do is to also contribute in a way as an agency, as an institution, to see that we further enhance their mastery of French as a foreign language in a way that it will help them to further carry out their mandate of maintaining peace and security in our country.
Michael.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prof. I like the idea that the mandate, this your extended mandate, the military, customs, navy, DSS, and all of them, and the fact that you believe that it will help in strengthening the fight against insurgency and terrorism, basically from our neighbors. I also looked at our neighbors, French-speaking countries. But will it be sufficient, in fact, to affirm that the problem with those who are coming into the country who are termed as insurgents or terrorists are French indeed? Because the noise you hear about is that they are pastoralists.
Yes, they have their own countries. If somebody is migrating, coming in from Niger, we know that apart from the indigenous languages, I studied in the Université de Niamey for my year abroad program. In those days, when our economy was buoyant, there was no French village. When we were in the university from Ife in those days, in Ife we had a kind of exchange with the Université de Niamey, the only university they had in the country then. In Niger then. So the 300 level students of French will go to Niger, and those 300 level students of English will come to Ife. That was the program then. And they have their languages. You have Jerma, you have Hausa, you have Fufuda, and so many other indigenous languages. But the fact remains that what we should underline is that in spite of all these languages, they have what we call the official language. Like in the case of Nigeria, we have about 450
mother tongues,
indigenous languages, and apart from that, you have English language, which we see as our lingua franca. They have French too, and I believe that if you have an officer who is proficient in French, who doesn't need somebody else to do the translation or interpretation, who can listen and pretend that it's not he doesn't understand you, whereas he or she understands you perfectly, you know that the way you gather his information will be different from somebody who have a document, who doesn't speak French, who will need somebody else to do the translation. And you can't trust the translators. You can't trust the interpreter. Yeah. And that is why there's this popular saying that le traducteur est un trahi, la traduction trahi, that if you are doing translation, you also have tendency of cheating in a way. Altering. Yeah, when you utter, it's a kind of it's a way of cheating too. If somebody is saying something, you can decide to make it mild. You can decide to make it more serious. You may even decide to keep the fact. That is when you are not faithful to the original text. But if you also speak the language, you don't need to go through any translator and interpreter who will distort the fact. And that is exactly what we are looking at.
I know the national policy on education, talks about education at the base, being, compliant to, multi-language situations. I have seen the national policy on education. It doesn't really play up French as it plays up Arabic. Are you willing to, do some work in that area, so that we can have, apart from the armed forces, so that we can have the locals, also engage at that level?
Let me take us back a bit. You remember the former head of state, General Sani Abacha? There was this statement he made at one of the meetings of the Francophonie, where he just made a pronouncement that French will then become, second official language. This statement was made, a presidential statement for that matter, but there were no documentation. There was nothing to back it up. And today, we can say that c'est tombé dans l'eau, that it has just dropped somewhere and nobody is talking about it. Even as a professor of French, I'm skeptical about it. In my inaugural lecture, I said that maybe probably I'll be one of those professors who will not think that Nigeria should go the way of second officialization in the case of French. And what we should do is that we already have English language as our lingua franca. Let's help our indigenous or national languages, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, and other ones too. Let us, as a Yoruba, I should be able to speak one or two other Nigerian languages. If you have that, and our children could also do that, then let French continue to enjoy its status as a foreign language. And what we'll do is that, and it's already happening, so many private schools, from nursery, primary, they're already teaching French. And the secondary school, basically, unless where you don't have enough French teachers, basically you have French teachers and you have French as a course in secondary school. I wasn't born in the Francophone country. I started learning French in Nigeria as a foreign language in secondary school, and I went to the university up to this level. So it is possible. And I think what government should do is to further, with the French government too, is to further encourage. And you need funding. I always tell people that government cannot do it alone. You need individuals to also contribute.
Prof,
yes.
I may be taking a break, but Tunde, do you want to ask something quickly?
Yes, Prof, I thank you very much. I'm just looking at it this way. I don't know how, some people believe that it's difficult to learn French because almost all of us in this room, maybe aside from the prof, learned a bit of French, but I'm not sure anybody can speak French. Now, this is
even save our life, we may not be.
It's biting us hard. If you look, let's take ECOWAS as a body. By size and by population, Nigeria is supposed to be a powerhouse in West Africa. but we are not adequately represented in ECOWAS, even to the smallest level of people working in that organization, because majority of our people can't speak French. Whereas if you look at the Francophone African countries, most of their people can speak English and French. In Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, and even Senegal. What is the... Is there some kind of mental siege for our people in picking up French or what?
Yeah, Tunde, I like that observation, and I'm happy that you have noticed that. You see, one of my achievements in UI as head of European Studies was the fact that we were able to start French as a GS course in UI now. And I would like to especially thank the then Vice Chancellor and his successor, Professor Adewale, who said, HOD European Studies, go and put up a curriculum, and I want all our students to be learning French. And when he left office, the successor, Professor Olayinka, also encouraged us. And today, I think about 2 or 3 sets already. Wow. So if you go to UI, irrespective of the course you are admitted for, 100 level you will do. And it's not a gymnastic language course. It's a communicative-based course that after a semester, you should be able to communicate. And a serious student from there can write the internationally recognized exam, DEF-DAF, at least the A1. So if you see our colleagues from the Francophone countries, like you said, when they come for conferences here in Nigeria or in any Anglophone country, and their paper is in English, they don't want to use any interpreter or translator. The English may not be as fluent, but the person, that colleague, Francophone, Beninois, who be Togolais, would deliver his lecture in English, and people will understand. You cannot say that in our own. From there can write the internationally recognized example. So you cannot say that about our own people. You cannot. And maybe, can we say that it is also partly due to our curriculum in a way? Because in the Francophone countries, if you are in the Faculty of Arts, for instance, apart from the French, which is the lingua franca or the official language, you must take one other European language. In the Republic of Benin, it's either German, English, or Spanish. In Togo, it's either German or English. So, like that, when you see a Francophone Africa, in addition to the French language, he has one other. So,
what do you think, Prof, is the most effective way of achieving this?
When is the curriculum, we have to start from the secondary school level. That, okay, if you are in the faculty, there must be a categorization sort of. If you are in a pure arts group, in addition to English and literature in English, you must also take a foreign language.
So we need a policy.
A policy along that line.
All right. So
and that will grow up to the university level.
Okay, we will take a break right now. Wherever you are listening, we are on Facebook Live, and you can join us there and make your comment. If you have a question you want to ask the prof, well, you have the opportunity. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with this discussion. Do stay with us.
Splash FM 105.5.
Àkókò ìjà tó pabambarì jù tá a ti ń retí ń lọ kọ́sùkọ̀ báyìí o, kì í sí ibú yẹ̀rì láàrin jù bá náà lọ. Ó mà ṣe o, wò bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń kú bí ojú pì, ẹ̀ṣẹ́ àgbáwọlẹ̀ lọ́tún lósì. Ó dilẹ̀ gbága yìí, ó ṣubú yàkàtà, ó fìdí rẹ̀ ní ìjà parí o. Kò sógun mọ́ kò sọ́tẹ̀ mọ́, àlùbámí ni Bọ́sìkà tún borí lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
Gba ìtura kíá kúrò lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀fọ́rí, ìrora àti òtútù pẹ̀lú Bọ́sìkà. Bọ́sìkà ń gba ẹ̀fọ́rí, ìrora àti òtútù lágbàwọlẹ̀ ní kíákíá. Bí àyípadà kò bá sí lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta, lọ rí dókítà.
Ìgbàgbọ́ kan ní Splash FM ni pé ó okòwò ṣẹ́gbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ láwùjọ wa lónìí kì í ṣe títa àwùjọ lólobó nìkan bí kò ṣe jíjẹ́ akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ àwọn tó gbéṣẹ́ náà dání. èròǹgbà wa tó kàn ní dídá ògo ṣẹ́gbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ padà nípa kíkọ́ àti ríró àwọn agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ lágbára pẹ̀lú ìmọ̀ tó tẹ̀wọ̀n. ká sì tún àwọn ọ̀ràn tó ń bọ̀ sọ́nà nípa iṣẹ́ ọnà àti ìmọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ sáyẹ́ǹsì ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tá a ti ń gùn lé láti bí ọdún mẹ́rìnlá sẹ́yìn nínú okòwò ṣẹ́gbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́. ẹ kú ojú lọ́nà.
Guys, see, once I enter for this Big Brother Naija Season 6, my fans will be called Chi-Chi Nation. Me, as Funke, my own fans will be called Funke 5. Titus, you go, the Titus is.
Are you ready for fame and mega stardom? Ready to cash out 90 million naira worth of prizes? Then audition online for Big Brother Naija Season 6 for free from the 3rd to the 16th of May. Log on to africamagic.tv/BB Edition and upload a 2-minute video telling Big Brother why you should be a housemate. Participants must be 21 years and older with a valid identity.
The sweetest period of anyone's life is their childhood. Come spend this year's Children's Day at the Splash FM Lagelu FM Children's Day Fun Fair 2021. Let your kids spend this day with unlimited fun. Activities include dancing competition, free refreshment, fun fair, face painting, singing competition, bouncing castle, and other side attractions. Date 27th May 2021 by 11 a.m. at MOV 21 Event Center. Gate fee 1,000 naira only. Please note, COVID-19 measures would be duly observed.
For inquiries and sponsorship, call 0805-699-8701.
Give your child the bounteous shower of love and care with unlimited fun at the Splash FM Lagelu FM Children's Day Fun Fair 2021.
We have come to the end of the cooking competition. World famous chef Big Shot will decide the best food.
Wow, he has finished the food. So, who will he crown winner?
And it's a tie, ladies and gentlemen. All the chefs have been declared winners.
Woo!
Ladies, what's your secret?
No matter where you come from or your taste, you can make great meals every time with Onga, the seasoning of Niger, now made with locally sourced soya for more nutritional benefits.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
Come the 29th of May, we will bring instant bowl to your doorstep when the royalty of English football, Chelsea, the pride of London, and Manchester City, the unstoppable citizens, light up Europe to compete for the biggest prize in club football, the Champions League final. Smart Code Africa and Mabin Dynamics are in joint collaboration to make your night magical on Champions Night at MOV 21 Event Center at Dioyo, Ring Road, Ibadan for the biggest gathering of European football lovers. Come watch the game on the biggest screen with friends and color mates. Meet your favorite OAPs in the city. You stand a chance to win amazing prizes at the Champions Night. Access code is a bet slip of 1960bet. Media partner Splash FM, Lagelu FM. For more inquiries, please call 080-557-94255 or 090-286-30747. This event is powered by 1960bet.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni o Panadol Extra náà ni Panadol Extra ó tún ti ń bẹ báyìí nínú ìdè kékeré oníkápẹ́lẹ́tì mẹ́rin láàdọ́ta náírà péré Panadol Extra kẹ́nẹ́ ni Panadol Extra mú tura bẹ́ẹ̀ fọ́rí ìrora ẹ̀yìn ìrora oríkèé ìrora nǹkan oṣù àti ìrora eyín tí ìbá ṣe Panadol kò lè jẹ́ bí Panadol tá ìpadà ò bá sí lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ méjì lọ rí dókítà Panadol Extra ní paracetamol àti caffeine nínú kò sí fàlàbọyún àtàwọn ọmọdé tọ́jú orí wọn kéré sọ́dún 12.
Should instill in us the right values needed to transform our country into a nation free of corruption. But first, we must know the meaning of this corruption of a thing. I don't call it a phenomenon. I call it a virus. I call it a disease.
The Splash FM Oratory Contest 2021 is here, and it's bigger and better. It's time for worthy students to exercise their oratory skills. Finals come up on the 26th of May 2021 at MOV 21 Event Center. Time 12 noon. In the words of Dale Carnegie, only the prepared speaker deserves to be confident. Invited schools should come prepared and punctual.
For inquiries and sponsorship, call 0805 699 8701. This event is sponsored by Dr. Fola Akinola and Kiram Lee Gym and Fitness Center.
Please note, all COVID-19 measures will be duly observed.
Splash FM 105.5.
Welcome back. This is Splash 105.5 FM, and we thank you for being there with us. Splash Rendezvous, and we still have Professor Ayeleru right here with us in the studio, and we're looking at how we can use French to fight insecurity. I'm going to go into that very quickly, and that's the area I want us to look at before we round off this thought. You are advocating that we begin to train our military French language, particularly you said it's part of your extended mandate, proficiency in that language. I was wondering how easy it is for an adult to learn French. 1, 2, because you put it together. So tell me how easy that is, and also how can learning French help them to fight insurgency?
Thank you. Let me say that we are not just going to start teaching them French. They have been doing it. They have been doing it. In fact, Alliance Française is collaborating with them already. But we are now offering ourselves, instead of doing it bit by bit, in piecemeal, we will now want the CDS to really coordinate, and so that they don't even need to come to our campus in Badagry. We will package and go to geopolitical zones. Because, that's the only inter-university center in Nigeria for French studies. So we'll go to geopolitical zone where it is convenient for them to teach them, take the package there and go there to teach them. And this will not be a problem, because we are sister agencies and we are going to do this. And let me tell you, I still believe very strongly, because the armed forces too believe that they need to understand our neighbors. And that is why they have been taking the learning of French seriously. And if you look at Ilorin, there's a NESA, Nigeria Education School of Army, I think. They learn French. Their students come to the French village and they teach French too. They are training teachers of French. That is to tell you that they know the importance and they have been underscoring it. So what we are saying is that we want to do it in a massive manner, so that many people will benefit, many officers and men will benefit at no serious cost. At no serious cost to the agency, because we believe that should be part of our contribution to the national development. And that is why the government, we are sister government agencies, and we believe we should do that. I agree with you that adults learning a new language for adults is a problem. Children don't learn languages. If you have a child, you put the child somewhere where there are 3 languages coming up simultaneously, that child will pick the 3 at the same rate without any problem of interference. But for an adult, it is difficult, because, for instance, as a Yoruba, you have your mother tongue, language 1, you have English, language 2, you want to add French to it, L3. So you now have 2 languages combating the third one and conflicting the third one that is coming. Don't forget that the sound too is different. Tunde just said that French is difficult to. Yes, in French it is not what is written that is pronounced. Mm-hmm. You must learn.
That's why I stopped learning it. And then they say that the last letter you don't pronounce it.
Yes, and somewhere you pronounce the last letter.
You see.
So you have to learn all this, and we always advise that for adults, when you are learning a foreign language, not only French, you must drop behind the linguistic baggage you are carrying. Your Yoruba, your English. Don't think that the structures are similar and you can do quick business. And no, it's going to be difficult. You have to start learning like a child. And it is better that way. And let me tell you that the approach these days, the modern approach, is basically communicative approach. We are not just teaching people to conjugate verb. It's no longer the idea of je suis, tu es, il est. No. We want, if you come to my class in 2 hours, by the time you come out of that class, you must speak French. Wow. You must, yes. Okay. It's a challenge. You must. Yes, that is the communicative approach.
In 30 seconds,
yes,
tell us how important French language is to development in Nigeria in French.
It is very important. You know, I just told you.
Speak it in French. Say it in French language.
Au Nigeria, il faut apprendre le français parce que le français est très important pour le Nigeria. Le Nigeria est entouré de pays francophones. Il y a le Niger, il y a le Cameroun, il y a le Bénin. Donc, il faut qu'on se comprenne. Si vous ne voulez pas, si vous ne parlez pas français, vous ne comprenez pas français, comment est-ce que vous allez comprendre ce que vos voisins disent, surtout les francophones?
Today, did you understand?
I was just going to ask how long it took him to become proficient.
He's a professor.
No, I'm not. At the beginning to speak.
Yes, I started learning.
Now he's a scholar.
Secondary school.
Okay.
In a secondary school, far, you're not. You had your community high school. I had one French teacher who just came from Togo. You know, Tunde was talking about how the teachers were not very because they were not trained teachers. They were auxiliary teachers. They just came from Togo or the Republic of Benin with their equivalent of the O level or HSC, and they appointed them, and they were the one teaching us. So the methodology was not there, but we were able to, you know, for every language you want to learn, if we are to motivate, you must be motivated. Motivation is very important. You know, if you have an interview, I've seen such experiences in UI. I know a young man who was in the department of petroleum engineering. He had an interview with ELF, and she came to our department for 3 months, and he got the job. Wow. Because you have a target. You have something pushing you, propelling you, motivating you to learn the language. So if something is motivating you, and like you say you want to learn, go to the Department of European Studies in UI. The adult class is still there, and I can assure you, in 3 months, you invite me here and we'll discuss in French.
Oh, that's a challenge. That's a challenge thrown at us. All right, so, Prof, thank you so much for coming here. I'm looking forward to having our military intelligence officers being able to penetrate these communities and be able to garner information for Nigeria as to how the foreigners or people who speak in those languages and expose them to us. Thank you for what you do for Nigeria.
Thank you.
And we appreciate all that you've been doing for us. Thank you so much, Prof, for coming. We appreciate every bit of it.
Thank you.
We've had the opportunity of hosting Professor Aileru here today, and we hope that when next we call on you, you'll be here.
Yes,
and join
definitely.
Us. All right, we're taking a break, gentlemen. When we come back, we'll be looking at the communique of the southern governors, 17 of them, and the reactions of the northern groups to this issue, and what do you think about it? I'm taking the news now. Stay with us, don't go away.
Here is
105.5.
Accessing
105.6.
one station, all the hits.
105.5. Splash.
Mommies and daddies, good evening, no. Don't forget to buy your pikin's favorite toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
It's typing out!
Quick, charge at 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on News Highlight at 6 p.m. President Muhammadu Buhari says his administration will use all available resources and manpower in dealing with bandits to ensure access to farms and food production in the country in the growing season. The president stated this while speaking to newsmen at the State House shortly after observing the Eid prayer, marking the end of the month-long Ramadan fast today. According to him, the menace of bandits and kidnappers will be addressed to ensure that the nation's food security is not threatened. The president, who hoped for a good rainy season this year, said the law enforcement agencies are working hard to regain confidence against bandits so that farmers can go back to the land. The federal government has said it is monitoring the unfolding developments with Israel and the state of Palestine. According to a statement by the spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ferdinand Nwoye, the federal government urged both parties to de-escalate hostilities. The federal government also urged both parties to remain committed to the two-state solution and to ensure all citizens live in peace and dignity. A former Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Joshua Dogonyaro, is dead. Dogonyaro, who turned 80 in September 2020, died in Jos this morning after a brief illness. The former CDS was the officer who read the coup speech that ended the regime of Nigeria's current president, retired General Muhammadu Buhari, and brought retired General Ibrahim Babangida to power on August 27, 1985. We'll take a break and be back in a moment on the news highlight at 6. Stay with us.
As the best man, I'd like to give a toast. But first, I have a few things to say. The money they are spraying the couple is reducing. It seems some people have rubbed glue under their shoes to pack it.
Clearly, he's been watching comedy nights or maybe My Siblings and I on Africa Magic Urban, DSTV channel 153. Now, you